Good afternoon. I know that time is a valuable resource, and so I decided to employ a tool that I use with my staff and community as a vehicle to share some additional information about what's next for Pleasant Local Schools. As I've shared, Pleasant's mission and vision statement is to unleash the potential of all community members. We were very intentional with the word all. We talked at great length about should it be just an unleash the potential of students, or should it be of students and staff? Should it be of just the Pleasant community? And we really believe that our job as a school is to not always have our hand reaching out, but to have that really be a reciprocal relationship and partnership that we want. So therefore, we said all community members. We also have three core values. One is which to serve and empower others. Two is driven by purpose and vision. And third is to act with a positive mindset. These statements are truly the work that drives every decision that we make. They are more than a piece of paper. Our decision, every decision that we make is weighed against this culture blueprint. And as we work to eat the elephant of where we want to be, we consider which bite will get us closer to our mission and vision. Last year, we started a Building Legacy campaign and took the first step in that by passing a bond issue and a 1% earned income tax. And as we all know, you can't help someone else until you've taken care of yourself first. So we did employ that airplane analogy, that is to put your own oxygen mask on first. And Pleasant Local Schools did just that. And so therefore, we're now in the process of designing and building a $34 million educational space for our learners, and we're very excited about that. Phase 1 will be completed in June of 2022, and students in grades 5 through 12 will enter into the new facility at that time. And after that, Phase 2 should begin shortly after, once the state gives us the go-ahead. That potential timeline for Phase 2 is to commence construction in the summer of 2022 and finalize our entire project in the summer of 2024. So now that construction's underway, it's time to consider what is next in our legacy campaign. So a committee of internal and external community members analyzed a plethora of community, state, national, and world data. And our cultural blueprint is clear that Pleasant believes in building on our strengths. So not only have we identified our strengths, but for our own internal strengths, but we also considered the strengths of the community and which community organizations align to our culture blueprint. As a result of our analytical data review, our district has determined the way that we can most unleash the potential of our community is to launch an initiative that fuses education, wellness, and innovation. And because of your involvement and impact in Marion and the surrounding areas, we are coming to Ohio Health First. We believe that a partnership with your organization is critical to the success of this initiative, which is to improve the health behaviors of current and future residents. As an educational institution, we have direct, personal, and daily access to families, which we know is critical to influencing the behavior of future adults. Further, because we're constructing new facilities, we also have access to land and structures, which allows us to dream in ways that without these two components serve as additional barriers. So thus, we're inviting you to partner with us and to envision how we can serve our community to empower future leaders to not only exhibit a strong, healthy well-being, but also be prepared to lead in the health professions. I want to take a few moments to share some of the key data which prompted this decision for Pleasant to serve and empower our community in a health and wellness initiative. First, community has a strong interest in health. We have several community members who currently serve in the medical field, with another large percentage of people who serve in the mental health area. Second, as with many school districts, your graduates tend to follow that similar pathway which their families have forged, and each year 10 to 20% of our graduates enter into a health field, with many pursuing degrees in nursing, physician's assistants, pharmacy, and surgical doctors. Third, several years ago, Pleasant created a drug and alcohol policy which still serves as a national model, and we've presented at national conferences. And out of all of the districts and organizations that the drug company we utilize serves, Pleasant holds the ranking of #1 in its success for drug screening and reoccurrences. This is a tremendous accolade because our school also tests for nicotine, and while we test for nicotine, we still hold this #1 distinction. And fourth, our extracurricular programs are very strong, and We attribute that to not only the fundamentally sound conditioning that our students participate in, but we also attribute that to that overall healthy well-being of our community and the emphasis that we place on it with our culture, meaning a strong mind and a behavioral expectation. So after identifying our strengths internally, we examined how our strengths could positively influence the greater community, and we began looking at external data. So we looked at our county health rankings. And as you're aware, adult obesity and physical inactivity are two significant needs. Further analysis shows that 21.1% of the population is below the age of 18, and 16.3% are 65 or older. So, hence, schools have the ability to influence the future behaviors of 21% of the population, and 62.6% of the population is between the ages of 16 and 65, meaning that in this demographic are a lot of parents, which schools have daily access to. We also discovered that Ohio Health is number 8 in employees in Ohio, with this large segment of Ohio Health in our school district, it makes sense to partner and consider their employment needs. We also saw that the U.S. Department of Labor expects the most gains in job opportunities in the areas of education and health services. Hence, education needs to be about preparing students for careers in these areas. Next, we saw a demographic change in race and ethnic profiles. In 1973, 6% of the K-12 U.S. population was Hispanic, but yet in 2010, the Hispanic population is over 22%. However, in many areas of the U.S., demographics haven't changed, and our K-12 students aren't prepared for a diverse world. Pleasant has a total of 25 students who meet the requirement to have English be considered their second language, and the majority of our students are white Christians. So, thus, this has to be a factor when we're preparing students for a diverse global economy. Not only is diversity an area that Marion's attention is needed, but the nation is also seeing a healthcare shortage, and by 2025, it's projected that the U.S. will face a shortage of home health aides, health technicians, nursing assistants, nurse practitioners. And Marion, as you know, is already feeling this crunch in job recruitment, which leads to patients lacking health care. And we know this creates its own set of unique challenges. Hence, we need this model where we put wellness at the center of all educational forces. So, what could this potentially look like? First and foremost, we want to be very clear that this concept can be wide open to other ideas that we would welcome in this partnership, because we believe in strength-based partnership to develop the impact in Marion. We did take a look at what we think our strengths are. So having said that, Pleasant has a strong participation in traveling sports. So I say we capitalize on that. Our county traveling teams travel to other counties for gym time, for practice, and for game tournaments. So let's build a facility where our travel teams can utilize and can practice in. This involves the whole county because students from all schools join a traveling team because they're not school-based. So let's provide strength and conditioning in this space so students are exposed to healthy and appropriate conditioning at a young age. Let's make nutrition a priority. Let's create a stipulation where all teams using this space need to provide healthy snacks and include nutrition as part of their conditioning. Let's enforce that coaches using this space attend a nutrition and conditioning clinic. Then let's take advantage of a captured audience and provide yoga classes or spinning classes or any other types of classes, or just 10-minute quick exercise tips and quick meal planning ideas for parents who are waiting on their sons and daughters to finish up practice. We could even take this a step further, and 1 or 2 nights a week we could partner with a local chef or a grocery store to prepare carry-out nutritious meals. Further, let's capture on the success of our community's Veterans Court and partner with other community agencies to create an alternative consequence model for at-risk youth behavior. I've already reached out, and I'm very excited about this because we are working to set up a meeting to discuss how we can utilize the strength of our students to serve as peer models, along with the counseling center, to provide an alternative for those youth who get themselves in trouble with the law and potentially would benefit from an alternative program like the Veterans Court. Let's also include a fitness program in this model, as we know that positive endorphins are released during exercise, and let's make that a part of our 12-step program. Let's also not forget the need to foster a culture for diversity and inclusivity, and let's create an office space dedicated to this critical need and create a student council along with a branch in our MAWAC group that creates an open dialogue and breaks down barriers. As you can see, Ohio Health and Pleasant are only the tip of the iceberg to this partnership. As a community, we have to think differently. The data is clear. Education and healthcare have to become partners, and they have to think differently. Marion's 88 out of 88 counties. We surely can't fail. We can't go any lower. So let's take this opportunity to do something different. Marion needs strong leadership. We need people who are willing to be change agents, and this takes vision, creativity, and bravery. And if we want to be elite, we have to be willing to take calculated risk, and we have to be willing to step out. Now, I refuse to incorporate risky behaviors, but I am willing to take bold steps, which are grounded in solid data and analytics. I am not proud to be 88 out of 88 counties. Marion's better than that. However, I am proud to be part of a community within Marion which is prepared to capitalize on its strengths and make a difference to unleash the potential of everyone in the community. To conclude, schools are funded in ways that make this type of thinking impossible to do alone. I'm confident that our community will come together to raise $1 million. However, I believe that this concept needs 4 million. And I know if we create this space, we can lead the state and the nation in making our mark, but more importantly, impacting our direct community. We need bold people who will step up and lead. We have some great things happening in Marion. However, we have an untapped resource with this direct partnership between school and health, and I hope you will seriously consider investing in this concept. Pleasant success speaks for itself. We'd like to do something unique and different and create a school campus which puts health and wellness at the forefront of youth and community development. I ask that we stop throwing Band-Aids on our problems and we emphasize our strengths to be innovative. Scattering money throughout the community to satisfy political perspectives isn't going to cut it. As leaders, we have to take bold steps. I'm prepared to do that, and I'm prepared to stand out and speak. I hope you will truly consider an investment in our future of education innovation. Kurt, I look forward to hearing from you, and I hope that this serves as a vehicle to help you share the concept and ideas. As I started, time I know is a valuable resource, and while you had to take time to watch this, I do hope it will help you have additional internal conversations and make our time more efficient and effective. Thanks, and I hope you make this day and this week the best yet. Thanks. Bye.